The show is called Now's the Time. I'm your host, Michael Uhila. We got a special guest all the way from Atlanta, Georgia on the phone with us. Amelia Keith, are you there?
I am. Hello. How are you?
Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here at KZSU Stanford. Tell us a little bit about, well, you're a model, you got a business. Where do you want to start?
Well, my name, again, is Amelia Keith. Those in the modeling world know me by Mia L. I do mainly classic pinup work. I've had an agency for 2.5 years, started in the business 8 years ago. Actually started as a plus-size model and ended up going to the other side afterwards.
So you went from one side to the other, the plus side to the minus side. How'd that work out?
Well, it came to a point where my agent asked me if I wanted to gain more weight or lose weight. So obviously I went for losing weight.
Okay.
Who really wants to gain more weight?
Well, some people are into that, but that's different people, different strokes for different folks. For those of you just tuned in, this is KZSU Stanford, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, Amelia Keith, here on KZSU Stanford. She also has an agency called Allure. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started Allure Image Management 2.5 years ago. It started out as an image consulting company, basically to help develop talent, to find an agent, help them with their comp cards, their headshots, acting classes. And shortly after beginning the business, I immediately turned it over to a talent agency, and I represent only actors. Started out nationwide, and we now have 2 offices in the States and recently opened up an office in London.
Okay, and tell us, from the beginning, of course, how did it work out? You know, business people, they are very resourceful, and sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. You're just out there, and how the beginning stage of that went through.
Well, honestly, I had been in the business for quite some time. I had been an agent before, and I had previous talent approach me for help. And after a while of helping people, I decided, hey, I can actually get paid to do this. So I sat down one day and found a website where you can make your own free website, and that's how Allure started.
Okay. So it got started, and then what happened after that?
A lot of the talent that I'd represented in the past came over to my agency. Thankfully, I had a lot of the resources, photographers, models, actors, and previous clients I'd worked with before, and I just sat down, made phone calls, and told them I had my own agency now and what type of talent were they looking for so that I could actually build my own talent base.
Okay. So from that step, then what happened after that? Gigs, photographers, models, people start calling you, or are you sitting around waiting, or what happens?
Oh, no. I got on the phone, and I made phone calls to previous clients, and then a lot of my work came from referrals. And word of mouth is obviously the best thing in the business. One client worked with me, and then they would tell another client about my work and about my talent. Talent would tell other talent about me being an agent. And so a lot of people came to me rather than me having to seek them out like a lot of other companies have to do. And then in 2007, I only opened the agency in 2006. By 2007, I was nominated and became a finalist in the American Business Awards in the category of Best Corporate Communicator. And then by last year, I won Best Creative Professional Award.
Okay. Sounds like you've been busy picking up awards, starting up businesses, starting up companies.
Absolutely.
In the beginning, what was the most challenging thing for you?
I think the most challenging thing was going from being a model, actress, to being an agent, trying to gain the respect because I am younger than a lot of business owners. And gaining the respect was the hardest part of it because a lot of talent may look at it as, okay, this person is a lot younger than me. How are they going to manage me?
Okay.
And so coming to the point where I could prove my ability to get them work and prove to them that I could help develop their image, that was the most challenging thing for me to start with.
What are some of the things that you like about doing what you do as a business person?
I like to see other people succeed in what they love. I think it's really important for people to do the work that they enjoy. It's really not only about the money. Yes, the money's nice. Yes, it pays our bills, but it's really important to do what you love. And so if I can help somebody else succeed in what they love, that's what's really rewarding.
For those of you just tuned in, this is KZSU Stanford. Amelia Keith, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. She's on the phone with us. She owns Allure Image Management, and it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, correct, where you started?
I actually started in Atlanta and then expanded to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, so that would be the expansion from Atlanta to North Carolina. Where other places are you expanding to?
We just recently opened an office in London that will be run by a man by Paul Detman. He's great. He's a PR manager in London, and we met through mutual acquaintances in the business out of L.A., and so we plan to put our press release out in 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, this is a good time, too, to, promote that event. Why don't you go ahead and tell the people out there in Radio Land all the facts, who, what, where, why, and when.
Well, Paul approached me, like I said, we have mutual acquaintances in the business. He was a PR manager for a model who I've known for quite some time, and we started talking about maybe putting something together in London. London is a big place for theater, and I do represent actors here in Atlanta and Charlotte. There's not much theater, and we decided we'd like to expand on that. So Paul and I have been working together to build our talent base and client base there.
Okay. And so what happened? Are we still in negotiation process at this time, or what's going on?
Our press release goes out in 2 weeks for the opening of that office.
Okay.
And it will be a satellite office.
All right. For those people that want to know, they can go to our website first, kzsu.stanford.edu, and you can click on Amelia Keith. It'll go directly to her Model Mayhem. And how long have you been modeling?
I've been modeling for 8 years. Or going on 8 years, and that's how it led to me being an agent. I attended a talent convention and was speaking to an agent about modeling for his company and told him I wanted his job. And 2 weeks later, I moved to Atlanta and became an intern at a talent agency.
Just like that, right?
Just like that. 5 weeks after that, I was a director.
5 weeks after that. Wow, you're moving up. I mean, I'm still making coffee for rich people. Okay, so Amelia Keith here at KZSU Stanford. Now we're going to talk about modeling for a little bit. We were talking about business. Now let's go to modeling. Let's be real. It's a superficial business.
It
is.
And
tell us the likes and the dislikes about this business.
Well, the likes for me is I actually enjoy being in front of the camera. As I said before, I'm very big into classic pinup. That's the main thing that I shoot. There's something, amazing to me about the classic beauties. It's Audrey Hepburn, if you will, as an example. The dislikes, the cattiness of other models, you do have to be able to handle that. Rejection, you're going to have to be able to deal with that, just as in any career, too.
Okay. Once again, Amelia Keith, Allure Image Management had won the American Business Awards 2008 winner, and she's also a model. So we went from talking about business and then modeling, and then tell us about where the company's headed as a company, and then where you're headed as a model, or both.
Well, for both, Allure is doing really well with our state's companies, with Atlanta and Charlotte. It's constantly expanding, and our main focus right now is the London office, because we really do want to get it going. As a model, I have a lot of great projects coming up in 2009 that I'm working on. I have a pinup calendar, classic pinup calendar, which I'm doing with a photographer by the name of Rick Newby, and also working on a book called Moments in Time, which is full of photos of classic movies. Example could be Rebel Without a Cause, Natalie Wood and James Dean, and I'm in collaboration with Grace Adams Moss on that. Okay.
All right. So, Amelia Keith here on KZSU Stanford, all the way out in Atlanta, Georgia. What's it like in Atlanta at this time?
Well, normally it's cold, but it's very hot and humid today.
Okay.
Even at 3 a.m.
Even at 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. over there. It's 12:15 here. Any last words for all the listeners out there in Radio Land before we end this?
Just make sure you check out my website, allureimagemgmt.com, and modelmayhem.com/MIAL.
All right. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here on KZSU Stanford.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.